Robin, Dallas Buyers Club, amazing movie. Up for, Oscar. Wow.
Six nominations.
That's insane, right? How do you, have you ever, I don't even know how to say it, you stumped me. Going in to do makeup for a movie, do you ever think this is going to be nominated for multiple awards?
No, no way. I mean, we knew it was something very special because of the commitment that Matthew and Jared showed of losing, 40 to 50 pounds apiece. I felt for sure, also seeing their performances, I really felt that the two of them would be up for awards this year. But certainly I didn't think the makeup would. I mean, your brain, there's not time to think that way, and your brain doesn't allow you to think that way. I've always wanted to be nominated for an Oscar, but I never thought I'd actually achieve it.
And now that it's here and it has happened, how did you react when you found out?
A lot of screaming and crying. I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe that everything I've always dreamt of my entire life just came true. I mean, what an amazing, amazing blessing.
And I mean, it doesn't seem right to ask how long you've been doing makeup for, because as long as you're a little girl, you're doing makeup, right?
Yeah.
But what made you decide, and when did you decide that it was a career choice?
Well, I've been doing makeup for 20 years. I started off as an actor in the business, been an actor my whole life, and I went to a conservatory here in Los Angeles called the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and I learned, makeup there during a makeup class, and just started doing makeup effects. Got hired for that, and I didn't have time to do the acting anymore, so I kind of fell into it and self-taught.
And when it comes down to a specific look, are there tricks that you have? Are there different brushes that you think work better for one look than the other?
Yeah, people commonly ask what's your favorite makeup product or favorite brushes, and I don't really have an answer for that because I use a little bit of everything. And I think that's what makes a well-rounded makeup artist, is you pick and choose little tiny bits, not just use one brand, But certainly I have my favorite brushes that are dying at this point. I've been using them. They have like 3 hairs left, and it's hard to give up those favorite products.
And finding them again, right? Because so much is discontinued.
So much, and they are discontinued. So I'm on the brush hunt right now, actually.
Well, now you can say that, after the Oscar nominations, you can retire them as Oscar-nominated brushes, right?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I like that.
So going back to Dallas Buyers Club, what was it like to do makeup for that film, for somebody who's lost 40 pounds for a role, and for Jared Leto? I mean,
I know. Well, it had to be perfect. It had to be gritty realism. If the audience saw the makeup while they were watching the film, if they saw the makeup that made them heavier or skeletal or, sick, that it would take them out of the film, and then I haven't done my job properly. So it had to be perfect. It had to be very realistic. I had to do a lot of adjusting on set for the levels to make them heavier or lighter so that the camera didn't think it looked like makeup. But we, as filmmakers, wanted to make this perfect for them because they were so committed, and we knew it was going to be something special for them. So, I mean, we just did everything we could to make it realistic.
And with a movie like this, you're going through different stages. It's not like you've got one character, you've got one look. Throughout the whole movie, you're making them up to look a different way. Yeah. How do you make that progression?
Well, Matthew had 5 stages of sickness plus his healthy look. Jared had 4 stages of sickness. So we built upon the different levels that AIDS patients get, whether it's the rash or the lesions. But we had to go back and forth from their sickest look to their healthiest look, sometimes 5 times in a day. The schedule was shot very much out of sequence. So
that makes it tough.
That makes it extremely tough. It was very hard. And our director shoots with only ambient lighting. So usually there's time to do makeup changes during a camera setup or lighting setup. We didn't have that opportunity. So they were just always waiting on makeup, which, as you know, is just no stress at all. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, yeah, I'll be right there. It's fine.
These actors are not really dying of AIDS, so we gotta have to put makeup on them.
So do you there must be some research that goes into it, quite a bit, I would assume. How did you do research for this look, for this movie?
I always do a ton of research. It's one of the things I love the most about my job. I just jump into it. But I was very blessed to speak to the head of infectious diseases at the National Institute of Health. And he brought me through exactly what AIDS looked like in the 80s, because it doesn't look like that anymore. We have treatments now that keep it a little bit more at bay. So I had tons of photos and spoke with him and just looking at the photos of those AIDS patients was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And I have to look at a lot of gruesome photos all the time. That's my job, to research that. But these were tough, So we just made sure that those two actors looked exactly like those photos.
And I mean, I haven't seen the photos, but I've seen them, and I would say, as far as I know, it's dead on, which is why you're up for an Oscar.
Thank you. That's one of the biggest compliments, is when I hear people that have had, friends and loved ones pass from AIDS in the 80s, or the medical community that worked with AIDS patients in the 80s, and they say, you nailed it perfectly. And I couldn't ask for anything more than that.
And do you yourself ever finish a look and step back and go, wow, like, I've impressed myself?
I don't know. I mean, I can say that when I watched Dallas Buyers Club on the big screen for the first time, usually when I watch one of my films, I watch it for the makeup. I can't help it. I'm looking for the mistakes.
You see it even if you're not looking, right?
And I didn't see any of the makeup. I just watched the film for the first time, and I was just like, oh my God, Matthew and Jared are amazing. I just saw the characters. And so I thought, okay, I did a good job.
That's so awesome. Good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I hope everything goes well. I won't say the words that might jinx it. I'll just let you know that that's what I'm thinking.
Thank you.
I have one more question that I try to ask each of my guests. I'm sure you don't have any on today, but I tend to ask people to show me their socks. I believe that socks tell a lot about a person. Okay. And as a makeup artist, I'd like to know what your regular sock choice is.
Well, when I work on set, I've got to wear something comfortable because we're standing for like 18 hours a day. It's insane. So I'm probably just a normal black sock, comfy girl with a pair of tennis shoes.
I like it. It explains it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you.